Konnichiwa, everybody! Yeah, it was obvious I was going to start the episode in this cliche manner because today we are going on another voyage. Like last year, we are checking out the Nippon Connection, the Japanese film festival here in my hometown, Frankfurt. It is the biggest Japanese film festival in Europe, and we will be checking out some fresh films from Japan. I have always been a fan of Japanese culture. Those of you who have watched the movie Void have probably noticed that at some point. Japanese films are always quite interesting. They tend to over-dramatize things very often.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
And I don't even want to start with the obscurity. Okay, I do.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Fine, thank you.
Oh my god!
I wish I were a bird.
なんであんた英語喋っとるん？
娘がアメリカに行くのです。
鳥やったら？
鳥ではない。我が輩は猫である。猫でなければ何だというのだ。
あんたの顔、なんかに似とるな。森前首相。I'm sorry!
お前が本当の猫かね？私は猫舌だがどうだ？猫よ！
あたしも猫舌。
ならばそうした。引っこ抜いてくれる。
なんで？
Yeah, that's coming for us this weekend. So, checking out this year, we got following films. Foreboding, Ice Cream and the Sound of Raindrops, Bamy, Tremble All You Want, The Hungry Lion, Oh Lucy,
ようこそ私たちが検討したいと思うものをレビューするムービー向こう。
So here we are, walking down the streets again. What I always love about the Nippon Connection is all the fun little activities you can do, and we are definitely going to be checking those out again this year. And for what I know, the weather is supposed to be really crappy. Bad.
Oh shit! Oh.
So, not really good Nippon weather because you hang around outside a lot since it's very full inside most of the time. But we'll see how things get. Yeah. So here I am, just checked in, got all my tickets. You know what? That romantic comedy, Tremble All You Want, is sold out. It's sold out in like less than 2 hours. I missed it like by a drop. So one of the movies we were planning to see just died, but we're good. We don't really do romantic comedies that much anyway. So everything involving horror and obscure stuff and things like Oh Lucy is available, and we got all them tickets. Yay! So, be looking forward to a wonderful little weekend coming up. Now let's check out the situation inside. Everything's getting set up. This is where the great famous karaoke parties that have been happening over the years will happen again this year, so be looking forward to some very awful singing. Yay! It says easy to tear open at any point. I don't really see that happening. So let's try this. Very tasty today. I recommend the sushi this year. These are maybe the cutest little Pikachu cakes I've ever seen in my life. The old school gaming room is back. Checking out the cup noodles. Spicy. Not bad. Not bad at all. So today's the first day, and I have got us some snacks to try out in the morning when we wake up, like we always do at this festival. This bear who's dancing with a bunch of strawberries called Lotte. This is pretty much our first look at the Nippon. Seems like a lot's going to be going on. It's not really finished being prepared yet, so I am looking forward to all the stuff that is still coming up. We will start watching movies also tomorrow. And yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna take it slow a little tonight, because it's gonna be a long-ass weekend, and there's gonna be a lot of reporting to do, a lot of reviewing to do, and a lot of eating to do, and a lot of drinking to do. All right, Gales friends, good morning to you.
Good morning, sunshine. Put a smile on your face.
I'm a little late, but that still doesn't stop us from doing our traditional Nippon morning taste test. We will begin with Lotte and this bear who has this pink ribbon on his ear. So, how do you open this? You go like that. And then you, what's this? Oh, it's just another picture of the bear. Ooh la la. So much to open. There's no pictures of the bear on the wrapper. Okay. Oh, the smell, guys. The smell is just like strawberry in your face. Okay, let's check this out. There's even a picture of the bear on these little things. Oh. I like this.
Oh God, it's so good.
It's this cookie with this very little filling. Look, on this one he's actually playing a guitar. Wow. No, my! I cannot get enough of this. God, I'm gonna be more fatter than I am with that. That's good. Okay, now over here, I got some green tea custard. Let's see how that tastes. I think you're supposed to eat it like a burger. Let's check this out. Too much dough to little green tea. This ain't really my jam. I'm gonna stick with the Lotte the bear. And today we got 3 movies. First one being Foreboding. Foreboding, yeah. Followed by Ice Cream and the Sound of Teardrops. And that's followed by Bamy. So we have start with The Apocalypse, go on with a theater project which shot in one take, and then we see a bunch of ghosts. It's gonna be an exciting day! And I gotta go. So here I am, ready to get this shindig kicking. I'm a little late, gotta admit. Damn you, crunchy bear cookie with filling, with strawberry filling. You, I have Why do you have to be so tasty? Okay. We are going to check out our first movie, The Foreboding, right now.
It's the apocalypse! Office products falling from the sky!
So I just saw Foreboding by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, who has also brought us Cure and Pulse. And this new film is a whopping 2 hours and 26 minutes long. And I have to tell you, strangely, it doesn't feel that lengthy because it brings a lot of fresh and interesting ideas. What this film really lives off of is definitely its creativity. It starts off with this girl looking for help because she is suddenly freaking out at the sight of her father. And she visits a friend, and they go see a shrink together, and this is where they discover that she has somehow lost all connection for the German family. And at the beginning of the film, you somehow at first have this feeling you have like from Lars von Trier's Melancholia. It's like you're watching people fall apart because the world is ending soon, but then soon enough you start getting these aliens, and they look exactly like normal human beings, and what they do is they just like walk around, tap people on their foreheads, and once they tap people on their foreheads, they lose the concept of a specific human emotion. Like, for example, if somebody like if they tap the forehead of somebody who is feeling scared and they say, "I am going to take your fear," the aliens will know what fear is. The person whose head they tapped, like, forget it, like, can't feel fear anymore in general. And the movie is generally like very gritty shot. It's all very dark. You have this very rainy dayish setting. It's all very yellow and dark. The acting is a little overdone and robotic at some points, but it still works very well for what it is doing. And where at first in the movie, as I mentioned before, you have this melancholia feeling of like people falling apart, you later on end up in this body snatchers world. You feel exactly like you're watching one of those 70s sci-fi movies, and it really kicks ass because I've not seen so much in Asian cinema that takes sci-fi to this human level where it's not robotic, where the aliens aren't like some weird looking creatures running all around looking scary, but they're all being actually just human beings. A lot of people who I've talked to after watching this movie have criticized the pacing for being so slow, but I think the pacing is just right. It just like sets up each character very well and tries to like explain what the intentions of these aliens are. That these aliens are like trying to figure out how human beings in general work. And so this is like was a very, very nice surprise. Running a little late because I've been smoking too much weed with Helmut shooting. But we are progressing into the new building. Not what am I saying, the new building, the independent film building, where we will be watching Ice Cream and the Sound of Raindrops. And the interesting thing about this movie is that it has all been shot in one single take. And we're missing like 3 minutes. Später! It's the one with the soup we ate yesterday. The cosmos has made me conscious, I say. Ice Cream and the Sound of Raindrops was so awful. It didn't just upset me, it annoyed me and genuinely made me aggressive. God damn. Well, first of all, I gotta give credit where credit is due. And the fact is, like, the whole thing is actually a pretty creative idea. It is all shot in, like, one huge 74-minute take. And I enjoyed how this one take was used as an instrument in the film, because usually films that are just shot in one take, they try to pull you through this one big, huge moment. What this film did was a little different. It did time jumps in the middle of that huge take. So like when somebody would open a window or close the door or leave the room, you'd suddenly have writing on the screen saying 2 weeks later, 1 week later, 2 weeks before the play, 1 week before the play, 3 days before the play, and so on and so on. And that is actually a genuinely cool idea. And, but that is already where the good things I have to say about this movie stop. Because you have a lot of issues here. First of all, the acting. It is incredibly overdramatic and is incredibly over the top. And the reason for this is that this movie uses a very young cast. And keeping your acting on point for 74 minutes is even very difficult for experienced actors. And for young actors who are mostly in their teens, this is like probably a pain in the ass. And some of these reactions are just like, so, oh boy. Yeah, so much overacting. Like, the overacting is just crazy. And another thing that is totally annoying is that there is this guy in the cast, and we don't even know if he's actually real, if he's part of the whole entire situation, or if he's just like this background ghost narrating the situations and the thoughts of the characters in the story, because there's this musician, he just sits in the corner and aggressively and loudly sings these totally weird poetic things, and he screams them. Like Tweak from South Park.
I can't remember the cool word. You guys! Stop! Hammer time!
The story, it is about a small town that wants to put on a little play with a few teenage students, and they get very passionate about this, and they want this play to happen. And then the play gets canceled, and things go a little haywire. You're supposed to feel with the students, but the students somehow get totally psychotic because their play was shut down. They actually end up killing somebody. They're like constantly having mental breakdowns, and it is just so unidentifiable. You can't feel with them at all. It is like their reactions. It's not that their reactions don't make sense. Their reactions are really downright something you'd expect from somebody fresh out of a mental institution. That is how fucked up these kids are. Another thing is the movie had sound issues. Do you notice how this sounds now when I'm talking to you guys? That the sound pauses every time I am not saying something. You don't even hear the white noise in the background anymore. And doesn't this sound really annoying when I'm doing that? Like, so you want to shoot me because this is such an annoying effect? Well, imagine this for 74 fucking minutes, because that is exactly what this film does. Okay, enough of that. Another thing I liked about this movie was the creative idea that since these students are performing a play and they're practicing a lot, every time the actors were in character, the movie would have a frame, but when they were out of character, they wouldn't have a frame. So that was pretty nice, but that would really be about it. And guys, really avoid this film like a plague. It'll just make you aggressive and emotionally numb and dumb. Totes. Ugh. So I saw Bamy, but I'll tell you how Bamy was later.
Too precious for this world.
And I am here with Norman. No, I'm here with Helmut Schuten now.
Helmut Schuten is also am Start.
And we're watching the karaoke take place.
Fucking karaoke.
Yeah. So for today, we leave the Nippon. And tomorrow, since that was Helmut Schuten.
Helmut Schuten live on stage.
We got one movie tomorrow, and we're just gonna go drink something. It's gonna be fun. And later I'll talk about the movie, or in the morning, I don't know yet. Yeah. So we are still going in there, and we're gonna play some games. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're a bastard.
I'm sorry. This just like took over me.
Bitte klingeln? I don't think so. No.
Ich klingel.
No.
Bitte klingeln.
No. You know what? They'll wake up and then they'll expect things from us. They'll be like, "Oh my god, y'all gotta play poker for $200."
There's people in there.
Nah, I don't want any expectations.
But there's just one person I saw in there playing pool.
Exactly.
Wollen wir Pool spielen? Das ist Spino.
No. They're so gonna have.
No, that's not a person. That's a plane. No.
Too many expectations. No.
There's too many expectations. I don't want stuff from her.
You don't want. If they wake up for this, they'll be like, "I'm gonna bring it."
Yeah, I know.
And
Oh, good morning. How you guys doing? I'm a little tired, but we're midway through the festival and things are still looking pretty good. Let's still talk about that movie I saw yesterday, Bamy. I missed doing reviews here in this room, just sitting there, no green screen, no bullshit, no tricks, so let's do it here. So Bamy is by a guy called Tanaka, and this is his directorial debut, and he has also written the script for this film, and it is very unusual, especially when it comes to tonality. The film really likes to play a lot around with its colors. It keeps like switching from almost black and white to slightly colorful images.
ねえ。ここにあった傘どうしたの?
And it really relies on its long shots. Like it takes its time to do its edits. These long shots are accompanied by this really blasting string score. It honestly is almost comical just how epic everything sounds for this movie that is generally a spooky film. And this is about a man and a woman. They meet because they both follow, as weird as this sounds, an umbrella flying through the skies and being moved by the wind in a very unusual way.
逃げて。
わからない。でも逃げるなら一緒に逃げよう。
Then we cut to 1 year later and they are about to get married.
And
they have like these totally awkward conversations, and the dialogue in this film is just so jarring. It is so puzzling. You can't really like. Sometimes you're asking yourself if they're trying to be funny, or if they're not trying to be funny. Oh yeah, and when they meet, the man, he starts seeing ghosts. And these ghosts aren't like these spooky jump scare ghosts that like jump out of nowhere and are like, boo, here I am, I'm a ghost. No. These ghosts are like these dark, shadowy creatures that just slowly move along. Why he sees these ghosts, if anything happened to him in his life that made him see these ghosts, the movie doesn't tell us. And so it's a little, it has its ups and downs. And in a way, it is like such a slow burner. And so over dramatic in its tone, even though it is so slow, that it does get a little tedious and boring to watch. But the mystery and the way this film is presented to you, especially with these totally strange characters, the mystery behind these ghosts in general make this movie still so intriguing that you actually do feel like watching it. So I'm very mixed on this one. Like, on one hand, it has incredibly great, genuinely creative, amazing ideas and nice execution in terms of cinematography and editing. But on the other hand, I cannot invest myself in these characters as much to really like love this film and really like totally get into this film. I didn't really care for anyone at all, and you know me, I don't like slow burners. I'm just like, if a movie is too slow, I start losing interest very, very quickly. So I am very mixed on this, because one side of me like really likes this movie, and the other side is like, nah, you could have made this a bit more interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. I do not know. And for a director whose film this is like his first ever, it's pretty good. Like, I don't know. I'm like a little lost with this one, but if spooky ghost stories with very jarring David Lynchian dialogue and incredibly beautiful cinematography is your thing, and you don't mind a very slow burning movie with not that interesting characters, check it out. Like, go right ahead.
これを限りに全部忘れて、そうして新しい幸せに向かって進んでいこう。
So yeah, the day has begun. Later on today, we are watching The Hungry Lion, which is a film I am looking forward to because it takes on these Twitter topics like hashtag #MeToo and hashtag fake news. It's like Japan's take on problems in social media. So this could be very interesting. I'm wondering, should I wear these glasses to the films today? The time has come for me to show you the masterful skill again of opening the ball drink. Ramune, they call it. There's happy member berries on it, as you see.
Hey, remember Ghostbusters? Oh, I remember. Remember Slimy? Oh, I love Slimy.
Well, I start dropping things. Anyway, you take this little handle here, then you stick it inside. And usually when I open these, they squirt right into my face, so that's going to be a little spectacular now. I told you that happened. and every year I have the pleasure of enjoying this frozen beer. Amazing shit, y'all.
I'm, ketchup.
Every once in a while, you look at your surroundings and ask yourself, what the hell are they doing? God damn. Oh my. I'm confused. And my wait is over. I'm finally gonna see the Hungry Lion. So, I just saw the Hungry Lion. And it was absolute gut-wrenching. It killed me. I will talk to you guys about that later. But first, I'll try a Japanese crepe. So it's time for another Movie Void taste test. I was actually watching my weight all this time and didn't really eat that much of sweet fatty stuff except for those cookies with the strawberry filling. But I really needed to try Japanese crepes because I enjoy crepes generally. And I love saying crepes because in Europe everybody says crepe. It's like saying Guillermo del Toro. It's really fun. Well, anyway, they also provided me with this drink. It's called Blue Coconut. The whole entire theme is blue. I have a blueberry crepe and a blue coconut drink. Let's try that. It tastes like blueberry flavored Red Bull. Beautiful. And now for the crepe. Very creamy. There's blueberry sauce and actual blueberries in there, and a bit of vanilla ice cream and vanilla cream. It's incredible. Good stuff. So, before we're gonna talk about Hungry Lion, I have to talk about a little short film they showed before the Hungry Lion. Let's go.
Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out.
I saw a little film called A Girl Untouchable by a very new young director called Hidetaka Komukai. I hope I am pronouncing that right. I usually don't do shorts on this channel, but I had the pleasure to meet this dude and have a small conversation with this guy. And since that was going on, I just couldn't resist to tell you a little bit more about this little film. So this is quite a simple story. I describe it as a little sweet slice of life almost everyone in the world experiences. So it's like these two guys, they see this man attacking a girl, and they both defend her. One of them is a tougher guy, and the other one is a bit more of a shy person. And the shy one, he falls in love with her. And even though she really likes him, he never really has the chance to ask her out. He's somehow too shy, and the whole entire thing flies by. I don't want to spoil too much. It's a very short story, so if you guys have the chance to see it, you should really check it out. But I really liked the way this story was told and the way it was shot. It felt like a very beautiful rainy day and a very sad, tragic tale everyone experiences in life. And while I was talking to the director personally, he also says that men in Japan, they are very shy about talking to girls and asking somebody out on a date and stuff like that. And he seemed to want to reflect a little in his film about how tough it can be to be a man in Japan sometimes. And for what this movie was trying to convey, it felt so natural, so real. Everybody in this film was very young, and for young actors, it was incredibly well acted. And I really hope this guy continues making film. and doesn't just start doing shorts and actually ends up doing a feature film one day, because I would love to see that, because this is a really young director who has a big future ahead of him, so I'm really hoping to see more of this guy. So if you have the chance to get your hands on A Girl Untouchable, that's what the film is called, please do so, because it is truly beautiful and heartwarming at the same time. It's sad and heartwarming, which is a rare case. So if you find it in any way, by all means, check this little film out.
You are fake news.
When I first went into The Hungry Lion, I was not expecting much. I knew that this was going to be a film about social media and rumors and things one calls fake news these days. And I was sort of going in there expecting something like cyberbullying, something that is not well executed and unintentionally funny, but what I got was the complete opposite. This movie is incredible. I'm surprised because there were so many movies that have attempted to make some good social commentary on social media platforms in general, and this one was the first one that actually really did a good job. It's directed by Takami Ogata, and I haven't seen any of his previous films yet, but I've heard that they are all quite controversial and get you down, and this one does get you down really badly. It is incredibly gut-wrenching and feels very real. We follow a young schoolgirl in this film, and what happens is, in her school, a teacher gets arrested for having sex with a student, and who's obviously a minor, and there is this video circulating online, but you don't see the girl the guy is having sex with. And for some strange reason, somebody invents the rumor that our main character, the schoolgirl, was the girl in this video. And so we get to see this rumor spread and her life keep falling apart more and more and more. First, it's like these stupid pranks, like somebody orders a bunch of pizzas to her house, but then it just keeps getting worse and worse. There is also a rape scene that is not, you don't see in detail, but it is implied. She starts losing her social contacts, she starts falling into the depression hole, and it is just gut-wrenching seeing how this girl goes down the drain. What makes this movie also so special is the way that it is done. You know, usually these films, when they take on subjects like social media, show you a lot of Facebook pages or YouTube pages or Twitter pages and so on with some videos playing. And this movie does not do that at all. It doesn't even have that typical found footage shaky cam bullshit. It does something completely different, and I think it is a totally effective way of shooting a movie like this. What Ogata does is he'll take a scene and place a camera in the corner of the room, and maybe another one somewhere else, but mostly it's just one camera. And this camera does not move, and it just stands there and records the entire scene from one single perspective. With this effect, you actually feel like you're sitting in this room with the characters themselves, and he usually doesn't cut until the next scene starts happening. So you have this very real feeling like you're part of everything doing that. And in a movie like this that is supposed to make you feel so real, it does that very well. The movie doesn't show any social media on screen until its third act, and then it only shows social media, which is where it gets a little tedious and a little long and a little dry, but that is really nitpicking here, because the first two acts of this film are incredibly effective. And you really feel with this girl, and it really shows in a realistic way how social media can wreck people's lives, especially with rumors spreading that are absolutely not true. And seeing this girl go down the way she goes down is absolutely depressing and gut-wrenching. And this is, I think, the strongest film of the festival I've seen. Yeah, that's how good this is. So really, if you guys can, this one's a little hard to find, but if you can get your hands on it, do so, because it's incredible. It's amazing social commentary. The Hungry Lion. Good stuff.
So, after a long day of spending time at the Nippon, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. So, today's our last day of the Nippon. We got still 2 more movies to go. The Culture Clash comedy Oh Lucy. And now, before we dive back into festival action and catch our last Nippon Connection experience of this year, we should do another taste test. Today we're dealing with a little company called Meiji. And here we have whatever this is. It doesn't say. I have no idea what the hell they are doing in this picture. And here, they're playing the phone game. And at the back, they're also playing the phone game. And here, they're fighting some kind of an epic battle. Let's see what this is. Ooh. Ooh, it's chocolate! They look like little mushrooms. Like here, it's like a cookie, and on top it's chocolate.
That's a dick!
It's a little bit more bitter than I expected. But nice! And the cookie's like a regular cookie crunch. It's just like a piece of bitter chocolate on a cookie. Simple, yet nice. Now we have this little strawberry snack to try out. It's just a bunch of strawberries on the cover, and it just says Meiji and everything else. I don't understand. And here we have these little guys. Okay, let's check it out. This is just delightful. It's like strawberry flavored chocolate. This is insane. It almost reminds me a bit of like Kit Kat without the crunch. Okay, I will get moving to the festival grounds on our last day, and I will see you guys there.
Okay, we are officially back at the Nippon, ready to start some shit. 2 movies still coming up. Maybe a few more new attractions we didn't discover yet. The next film we're watching is Oh Lucy, one of the highlights, maybe the biggest highlight of the festival for me. It's strangely with Josh Hartnett. You ever heard of a Japanese movie with Josh fucking Hartnett? And it's a culture clash movie where a Japanese woman comes to the USA. Let's find out what's still happening here. I'm standing here with Helmut Schuten. And we just did something crazy. We let them put matcha green tea powder in our beer. And let's see how that's going to taste.
Frozen beer.
Yeah, frozen beer.
Frozen beer. Cheers.
delicious. This actually works. One can so put matcha on beer.
Yeah.
It actually works. Trust me, you can do that.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
Try it.
Try it.
It's very tasty.
Yeah. Matcha beer.
Spare me my life. Spare me my life. Spare me my life. Spare me my life.
I am literally in heaven. This is a matcha white chocolate. Shit. So this is how it looks like. Let's check it out. No. This is amazing! Japanese marshmallows. They're a little softer and sweeter than regular marshmallows. They're great, but it's marshmallows. Nothing very new here. So I saw Lucy just now. I'm gonna review it later because there's some shit going on at this festival. We are going to check out the group karaoke party tonight. Tonight it's not a single karaoke party going on here, it's a group karaoke party. I am so sick of people doing Barbie Girl at karaoke shows. It's always Barbie Girl. Whatever happens, Barbie Girl. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes I might play tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? I'm just slow. Goodbye, Nippon. It's been a wonderful time with you. This is my 18th time at this festival, and the 18th time this festival is taking place, and I'll fucking miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at an area where people are very, very drunk because it's almost past midnight and we are too sober for that shit. I personally believe we should get fucking drunk right now.
Yeah, which we're doing. We're on our way to
This is
Helmut
too exhausting.
Schuten's house.
Human beings are exhausting because most of them are fucking stupid. Just wanted to say that.
By the way, that is Rosa, if anyone remembers her from the...
I'm the imperialistic landlady from South Africa. Who
Exactly.
happen to be British or not.
From the Night of the Museums video.
Yeah, exactly. I'm from the Night of Museums. Perfect.
This is Rosa. She's an aspiring YouTube star, going to start her channel very soon.
Hopefully, yeah. I give my best. Hi, YouTube. Well,
I think we're here. Are we here?
yeah, we're here.
Okay. Steve! Steve! Oh mein Gott, Steve! Wie sexy du bist! So now there's a party at Steve's house. Steve!
Yo!
How you doing?
Very good, yeah?
Good.
It's a house party.
Yeah. Ist ein iPhone X.
Oh boy. We still have a movie to review. Since we already did Bamy in this old school setting, I think it would just be fair to keep all the movies that aren't reviewed at the festival reviewed here as well. So here goes. Oh Lucy.
Oh my God, Lucy.
Oh my god!
So, Oh Lucy is a film by Atsuko Hirayanagi, and I found it okay. It is a story about an aunt who visits her niece, and her niece tells her to do these English lessons at a class taught by her boyfriend, played by Josh Hartnett. And it is an unusual English lesson. There are some things that like baffle her because it's not very common for people to hug in Japan, and he like gives her this wig and gives her an American name. Her name's suddenly Lucy now. And then suddenly her English teacher leaves with her niece to Los Angeles. And being sick of the boring life in Japan, boring in her eyes, Lucy, or Setsuko, grabs her sister and they travel to the United States to find both Lucy's niece and her boyfriend. The movie has an interesting premise, and with this whole entire culture clash premise, it really has a lot of potential, which sadly goes wasted at some points. But I'll still go on with what I really liked about it. I liked the way it took on some culture clash moments, even though I would have really wanted a lot more of them. Seeing Japanese people deal with life in LA is really, really cool. And also the character portrayals and the way the story arc progresses. On a technical level, this movie is all pretty much amazing. What I also liked was the fact that they didn't, if you like look in other films, how Los Angeles is shown as this big, bombastic, glamorous city. Oh Lucy doesn't do that at all. It just makes Japan look like a big rainy day and makes Los Angeles also look like this big rainy day. And in a way, that is cool because it fits the tone of the film very much. The thing is, only if this movie, I don't think it is more of a comedy than it is a tragedy. It opens up looking like a comedy, and through the middle, it has a lot of comedic moments, but still, the greater tone in this film is more or less the frustration our characters are going through and the uneasiness and insecurities of life. I also enjoyed seeing Josh Hartnett in a full-blown Japanese movie. That was an unusual yet interesting experience. He did his acting amazingly. It was great. And what I didn't like about this film is what kind of a downer it was. Not that I am not a fan of films that have depressing moments and that do have a depressing ending. This one just somehow shoved it down your throats. Like, it wasn't really necessary. It's painful to see characters start at point A, go through this incredible story arc, live through so many things that happen, and then just end up back at point A. There were so many ideas that could have been put into better use and made a bit more fulfilling. And it's like the movie keeps cutting into certain themes and topics, but never really explores them to the full point. Especially the relationship between Lucy and Josh Hartnett's character. It is something so awkwardly strange that one could have like made a whole movie just about that. It somehow is cool, but it never goes all the way. Only at the end when it becomes the sad, wretched mess. And the open ending just leaves the viewer baffled and depressed and pretty much hopeless. And I don't know, this is a good movie, but you just can't help but feel that they could have put a bit more effort and love into it by making it stand out a little more and not just end in this depressing little mess. But anyway, it's still a good watch, so I do recommend it, but just don't expect one of the best movies of the year or something when you go into this. It's okay, but not more than that.
Let's go! Let's hug.
And so here we are. We've handled another Nippon Connection. It was a cool year. The only film I thought was truly a disaster this year was Ice Cream and the Sound of Raindrops. Everything else was totally okay, totally fine. Nice watches. But the only films that truly stood out and really like kicked it out of the park were Foreboding and The Hungry Lion. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of screwed up funky experiences. And I hope we'll be joining the Nippon Connection again next year. It was a very nice. So, this was Movie Voidal. Arigato, motherfuckers. You will see me when you see me. Bye-bye.